get a fair trial, so they moved it to Clearwater. The panel consists of 9 women and 8 men. The trial took 6 weeks, during which time the jury was sequestered to avoid influence from information available from outside the courtroom, mainly from Miss Nancy Grace.
Let me up on the next part here. So we're talking about the opening statements.
Yeah.
Trial began in 2011, so that's May in 2011 in Orange County. In the opening statements, the lead prosecutor described the story of the disappearance of Caylee Anthony day by day, so she's going through it.
Right.
Exactly what happened from the time that she went missing. The prosecution alleged that the intentional murder and sought the death penalty against Casey. Prosecutors stated that Anthony used chloroform to render her daughter unconscious before putting duct tape over her nose and mouth to suffocate her, and left Caylee's body in the trunk of her car for a few days before disposing it, hence the death smell coming from the car.
Right.
They characterized Anthony as a party girl who killed her daughter to free herself from parental responsibility and enjoy her personal life.
Yeah, and they did that based on that during the time that the 31 days during which Caylee was missing, that Casey was present and participated in a hot body contest at a local club, which the guy she was seeing was a DJ at.
Uh-huh.
And there's pictures that the prosecution presented of her participating in a hot body contest, having a good time, not worried about anything, looking like she's not having a care in the world. Now, on the defense phrase that is you can't tell how people mourn.
Yeah,
you can't tell, but then it's bullshit argument.
Well, it's bullshit
it's
simply due to the fact that you can't tell how people mourn. If she was mourning over the loss of her daughter, and she had told the police about it, and there was an investigation and things like that, but no one knew at that time that her daughter was missing besides her.
Yeah, exactly.
So she wasn't mourning.
Yeah.
She was hiding away from.
But that's what the defense had brought.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that because you're a party girl that you committed a crime.
Right.
But yeah, if your daughter's missing, if any family member, loved one is missing, and no one knows about it except you, it seems rather suspicious that you are out partying.
Yeah, and that's also what the media read, what they were read through. This party girl who wanted to party, didn't want any responsibilities, ended up killing her daughter so she could go out and have a good time. That's what Nancy Grace was constantly running. Like, look at this party girl. Look at her out having a good time. I mean, my poor Caylee is dead.
A lot of that comes from sort of how our American Puritan sort of views on people having a good time. The same thing happened with Amanda Knox. Don't you remember they painted her as like a wild sex animal?
And that was in the Italian court system.
Right. Yeah. Right, but they're also, the Italians are pretty religious people. So in the courts and in the public, they'll talk about how, she was a wild sex animal and she was crazed, and because she... Have we done that, by the way?
No. I think they would come. Yeah, we should do that. That's a good case to do.
Spent time in the town that it happened in Assisi.
Oh, okay.
In Italy, I went to the same bar that she worked at while she was in Italy.
Shit.
Yeah.
You didn't see her, did you?
She was in America.
Yeah.
I went like 6-7 years after that whole thing happened.
Yeah.
In Italy, but yeah, my point being is that like the media has, drives this narrative of like, a loose woman, so she must be there for a criminal. In this case, I understand it has a lot less merit, but that is a weapon used by a prosecution to say that because she's a party person, therefore she must be a criminal. But getting back to the opening statements, by the defense, so this is the Jose Baez character, he claimed that Caylee had drowned accidentally in the family pool on June 6, 2008, and was found...
June 16, 2008.
I'm sorry, June 16, 2008, and was found by George Anthony, so Casey's father, who told Casey that she would spend the rest of her life in jail for child neglect, and then proceeded to cover up Caylee's death. Baez argued that this is why Casey Anthony went on with her life and failed to report the incident for 31 more days. Bullshit.
Yeah.
He alleged that it was the habit of a lifetime for Casey to hide her pain and pretend nothing was wrong because she had been sexually abused by George Anthony, her father, since she was 8, and her brother Lee had also made advances towards her.
Okay, stop. What, okay, first of all, this comes out of left fucking field. This really comes out of fucking left field.
Well, we don't know. I mean, it could be a truth, right?
Yeah, it could be a truth, but it just, from looking at George in his life, it doesn't really seem like, in the way he is, it doesn't really seem like he'd be the one to sexually abuse his daughter. I think this is a cop-out. I think this is just places and blame on George. I think George is a pushover. Like I told you in the beginning, I think he is a pushover.
It's insane to me
but from being a pushover whose life goal is just to be goofy in Disney World, to someone who sexually abused his daughter and helps cover up a crime, is a little far jump to me.
Point taken. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of blows me away is that the defense's best defense was to say that the father was in on this.
Right.
Where'd that come from?
He can't get charged. I think he had immunity.
Why?
Or something, because he was testifying. Because prosecution, that was their first witness, was George Anthony. So he might have had immunity. So it might be, he's got immunity, he can't be charged with it. So you're not throwing him down the river. Let's place everything on him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Clearly, they didn't have a good mother, a father and daughter relationship.
I think he was from what I was told and what I've researched is, like, Casey, when she didn't get her way, would go on these fits. And even her mother done this too. When they did not get their way, they go on these fits and just get just unbearable to be with. So I think George was just like, let me just do whatever they want to get along. Let's just go to get along. Let's not be in the way. That's why I kind of think of him as a little bit of a pushover. So,
all right. So, going on with the opening statements here, Baez, so the defense attorney, also questioned whether Roy Kronk, the meter reader that you were talking about earlier, who found the bones, had actually removed them from another location, and further alleged that the police department's investigation was compromised by their desire to feed a media frenzy about a child's murder, rather than a more mundane drowning. He admitted that Casey had lied about there being a nanny named Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So they're taking essentially the same approach. If we go back to the OJ case, if you remember, so him saying that, like, Roy Kronk, this, like, fucking innocent meter reader, found the bones somewhere else and moved them to another location.
Yeah.
That's, remember in the OJ case, they were talking about how the LAPD put the gloves right by the
back of the house.
back of it, and like sprayed blood all over or something. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? I mean, why would this meter reader do this?
But yeah, why would we do it? I mean, especially with Roy Kronk, he's not exactly a model citizen. I mean, he beat his wife, his ex-wife, beat his kids. Kids refused to talk to him. He was constantly talking in the weeks and days leading up to him finding the skull that, I'm going to become a big hero. I'm going to find this little girl, and then hopefully my kids will talk to me again. But him moving the bones, I don't think so. I think he just got lucky.
Okay, so I didn't know about
finding
that.
it, yeah.
No, I didn't know about him telling his
it.
daughter or telling his kids that he was going to find this little girl's body so that they can talk to him again?
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of...
yeah, that's another thing, yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. That kind of makes that... Well, not with that evidence, that kind of makes that claim a little... Not more believable, but a little less absurd.
Yeah.
If the guy was chasing fame from finding or trying to find the little girl's remains?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. All right, so what do you think about the defense's claim?
I think it's a fucking shot in the damn wind to save her ass. I think it really is a shot in the wind. This is anything else that would not have a prayer, a chance of a prayer for anyone else. But because of the situation that, which the evidence that they have, which I'm not gonna lie, with the prosecution, it ain't much. This might stick, and it seemed to have stuck. And especially the bungling they had done with trying to gather some of the evidence. Yeah, it's sticky. It's not sticky.
Which I understand it. I hate that like evidence can be just dismissed from court just because it wasn't gathered properly.
Right.
I get why. Because there could be contamination in the gathering of the evidence, but I just hate that it just gets tossed out, even if it's like very strong evidence that the crime took place.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk about some witness testimony real quick.
Yeah. The prosecution first called George Anthony as their first witness. In response to their question, he denied having sexually abused his daughter Casey. Anthony testified that he did not smell anything resembling human decomposition in Casey's car when she visited him on June 24th. But he did smell something similar to human decomposition when he picked the car up on July 15th. Cindy Anthony testified that her comment to 911 that Casey's car smelled like someone died was just a figure of speech. Because even then, like, when they found the car, there was a bag of garbage in the trunk of the car of rotting pizza. And she said that Casey's response to that is that she was over her boyfriend's house. She was supposed to take out the garbage, and and she didn't, so she just put it in the trunk of her car and totally forgot about it.
Wait, how did the car end up in the pound lot?
She parked it in a parking lot by a trash can, or a trash bin, and left it there.
Right, and then the
they told
got the letter in the mail.
Yeah, the city told it. Yeah, the city told it. So that's how they got. Yeah.
All right, so I'll pick up on the defense side.
Sure.
Baez asked an FBI analyst about the paternity test that the FBI conducted to see if Lee was, wait, who's Lee again? Oh, the boyfriend.
Yeah, the boyfriend. Yeah.
Was Caylee's father. She told the jury that the test had come back negative, so Lee not being the father. Regarding that photo on the computer, Ricardo Morales, the ex-boyfriend, you know, the one that said "win her over with chloroform."
Yeah.
Morales said that the photo was on his MySpace page and that he had never discussed chloroform with Anthony or searched for chloroform on her computer. So, yeah, that just seems a little bit of a coincidence.
Yeah.
Like, win her over with chloroform, as absurd as that sounds, it just seems like some sort of like dark humor from the incel community or something.
Yeah,
but it doesn't, to me, that's a bit of a coincidence.
Yeah.
You know.
The prosecution called John Dennis Bradley, a former Canadian law enforcement officer who developed software for computer investigations, to analyze a data file from a desktop taken from Anthony's home. Bradley said he was able to use the program to recover deleted searches from March 17th and March 21st, 2008, and that someone searched the site SciSpot.com for chloroform 84 times. Bradley expressed the belief that some of these items might have been bookmarked. Under cross-examination by the defense, Bradley agreed that there were two individual accounts on the desktop and there was no way to know who actually performed the searches. K-9 handler Jason Forney testified that Gurus, a German Shepherd cadaver dog, certified in 2005, indicated a high alert of human decomposition in the trunk of Casey's car, saying that the police dog had real-world searches numbering over 3,000 by now. During cross-examination, Baez argued that the dog